Mr. Eaton with Mr. Eaton's weekly videos, regular edition. How's everyone doing? I'm doing quite well. I've gotten over this cold. I have some generic Mountain Dew. Everything is just going really well, and I really hope everything is going well with you guys as well. Let's get right into it. This video will be split up into two sections, one on just the Glass Castle and the other section on just The Hate U Give. Let's talk about the Glass Castle. We didn't get very far. I know on the board I had like 150 pages into it. We're not that far. That's not a big deal though. We have plenty of time to finish this, and we will. Let's first talk about Jeanette. Jeanette, at the beginning of this book, is so embarrassed of the mother. But then, out of nowhere, we jump all the way to 3 years old. 3 years old. And when she's 3, she's disillusioned already. She's believing in her parents. She's making hot dogs by herself. Her mother is off painting. What the heck is that all about? Why aren't you taking care of your kids? Take care of your kids, Dad. Anyways, they're not taking care of her. She gets burned right away. And it's not really until we get to the chapters that we got to today that we realize they move a lot for a lot of reasons. The father seems smart enough, electrician of some sort. The mother apparently likes paintings. The mother and father like marriage stories, kind of interesting. Like, ooh, I propose to you this way. But honestly, we don't get a whole lot of good, which is probably why when we get back to the New York section, why she's not really into her parents, why she's embarrassed that they are her parents. We'll get into that a little bit more, but right now all we have is Jeanette as a kid, and she is not having a good time at all. At all, okay? She is having a really tough time. First day, boom, that we know of. She's thrown in the hospital. Everyone in the hospital is kind of like, I think you got some bigger fish to fry. All the way up to the chapter we read on Friday, which is she gets thrown out of a car on accident, and they don't even go back for her for quite some time. Poor Jeanette. A lot of bad things happening to poor Jeanette. So yeah, this disillusionment just keeps happening. And it's just going to keep happening. So this week we're going to keep reading. There's a lot more stuff that's going to happen. A lot of not so good stuff, but when you're a kid, you don't think anything of it. There's a lot going on. Oh, and we briefly talked about what happened to the other baby. The one that they don't talk about. One where the father is getting upset. You're starting to get some context clues. We can make some inferences on what's actually happening so far in this memoir. Some hints. But we don't get any correct answers. We have to guess. Because just like Jeanette, it took a while for her to even guess how her parents are. So something to keep us up at night. Next I'm going to talk about Double Trilogies. The Hate U Give. What a fascinating story this is so far. We start out with poor Star not wanting to go to a party. It reminds me of the song Here. Whoa, here. I can't sing anymore because I could get copyright claimed. And I'm trying to feed my children. Please monetize me. I need monies. I work at schools. Please. Anyways. So we have Star. She's at a party. She doesn't feel like she belongs. And the only reason her friend brought her there was to help in a fight. She doesn't even want to fight. Like, are you kidding me, Kenya? You brought me here to this? Well, she goes away. She's eventually left alone by herself. And she meets up with Khalil, one of her friends from long ago. They talk a little about how they used to be part of a unit. There was a third part of this friendship that is no longer there. We learned Natasha was gunned down in a drive-by shooting. She was 10 years old and she passed away. It's something that poor Star had to deal with up to this point. Same thing with Khalil. Khalil has gotten in some not so good stuff. We don't know what the business is, but we can make a guess as to what exactly this business is. Star's not having any of that. One thing that you'll start noticing is this story focuses a lot on shoes. These are important. Not this particular shoe. This is just a sneaker. Not a big deal. But for them, shoes are extremely important. They give information about who these individuals are. It's status. It's the first thing you notice when you look down, which there's a conversation to have there. Why are people looking down? But here we are. They're looking down, they see the shoes, that's their first thing. It's stability. It's their ability to stand on something. It's durability. It's stamina. Shoes are a huge, important part. Even in today's culture, shoes universally mean something about ourselves, even if we don't care about it. So that continues on. Shoes. So then they get into the car and they start listening to some Tupac, R.I.P. And a song comes up and they hear some of the lyrics and Star's like, why are you always listening to this old stuff? Khalil's like, no, it's thug life. The hate you give little infants F's everybody. I'm not going to say that because we're on YouTube, okay? I'm not going to say the word on YouTube. It's not a bad word, okay? It is a bad word, so I'm not going to say it. Flick, that's how I'm going to say it. It's the F word, the bomb of F's. But he says that in the book. The hate you give little infants, F words, everybody. It's all about what you do when you wild out. It's how you perceive the world based off of how you're treated, or in some cases not treated. Why is that a thing? Why is it the way that we are treated is the way we treat others? Or how our perception of the world has changed based of what world we're given when we're younger. How we are treated when we're younger depends on how people treat us when we're older. And that brings me to, who are we? How are we? Why are we? Those questions that I would like to dig in a little bit deeper. Chapters 1 and 2, that was our overview of the hate you give. We did get to chapter 3, but this is just a chapter 1 and chapter 2 overview of the things that happened. So, oh yeah, and afterwards Khalil is shot in an incident that is both real, feeling, changes the tone of the story, and it's this emotional gut punch of who do we believe, which side are we on. We're not even there yet. There are sides to be drawn, and this book cleverly makes sure that, well, you can kind of side with either one of them. Yeah, we're getting the perspective of Star, but that's an argument that can be made. At the end, we're going to talk about double journal entries because we're going to be starting those soon. Another question that was brought up to me and is a reoccurring theme is, what is theme? How can I determine a theme of a book, and what are some things that I can do to help in formulating a theme? Since if you didn't want to watch my last video where I go over the 5 themes that I'm going to be focusing on and you want to find your own, this is how you do it. So a theme is kind of a main idea of a story, the reason of its creation in a way, and you can have multiple reasons. It doesn't have to just be one. It can be 2, 3, 4, 10, whatever 11 is. I only have 10 fingers. But it could be more than one. It could, so sometimes it is referred to as the message with like THEMESSAGE and then like brackets around just the and then the beginning of message ME, so it looks like theme. If that helps you, great. For me, it's any overarching ideas, concepts that you can get out of a book. So if I'm going to be looking at any of the books that we are reading, so for this one, The Glass Castle, There are multiple themes in this book, things that I would like to point out. So the first question that you need to answer is, what is the main idea of this book? What is the purpose of this story? Why write this down? Why should I care? And if you've already answered that you're a teenager and nothing matters in life, well, congratulations. You have just invalidated this person in their life. You've also invalidated your own, because you're stating that any stories that you've ever had are gone. Doesn't matter. Nothing that happens in your life matters, so we shouldn't care either. That's incorrect. That's not true. You all matter. You all deserve validation. I validate you. Sometimes. Anyways, for something like this, we need to ask those questions, and then we have to make inferences. We have to imply something. We have to guess what we think it is. But it's not just guessing. It's also using our noggins and trying to find evidence from this. And if you can't find any, then it's probably not the theme. So if I'm looking at this that I have completed, and I want to use this for something, perhaps I want to focus on the innocence of a child, or the idea of that kids tend to grow up with expectations of what they think of their parents, or maybe that as a kid we don't realize that having a lot of busy work, a lot of things happen to us all the time, is not really a good thing. Maybe this quote can help support disillusionment in some way. Do you guys miss me? Not really. Too much has been happening. So many things have been happening that maybe having one less person in the house has simplified something, and yet it hasn't, because there's still too much happening. I can now use that quote to help support the idea of disillusionment, especially when we get more into this. There are a lot more quotes that support that. Even when the chapter we got today, 7-year-olds, a 7-year-old Lori was like, this is ridiculous. We don't have a place to live. There's another theme, home. Where is home? If I want to imply that home is a theme, that could be something that I can put into this. I could say that because they don't know where home is, they may not have a home. They don't know where that is. I can support that with that last quote where the 7-year-old was like, well, it depends. What do you mean by where have we stayed? Is it a week? Is it a day? Is the car our home because they remember that the most? And even then, they changed cars. So that is a theme in the simplest form. It's implying something. It's asking the question, what's the purpose of the story? What's the purpose of this? What's the main idea? Why? What am I looking for? And then I'm asking the questions, can I support this with evidence? Is there something that's happening in this book that I can say, yeah, that works? And if you can find quite a bit, I think you can make a stronger case that is indeed a theme. And another thing that I think is important when it comes to themes is it's something that we can relate to. Things have to be relatable for us to care about them. It's simple as that. If we can relate to them as humans, we're going to care about it a lot more. That's why we try to do our best to be kind and facilitate who we are to other people. We want people to care about us. We want us to be like a theme. We want to be relatable. That's not entirely true. Anyways, that will do it with today's video. Thank you. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you like content like this. I have a new banner, so thank you for the banner. If you can see it right there. Whoop! Banner! I had suggestions on doing that. I'm going to be adding some more info every time I do a video like this, so please make sure you like and subscribe, like I said, and I'll see you on the next video. See you Monday.